Hey everybody, the Reswirl here, and welcome back to more of Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Path. Now, hopefully this session will actually be longer than an hour. But we will see. Either way, boom. Wow, a candy castle! And there are even some fairies over there. Oh wow. This room seems to be structured in the same way as Master's room. But it's nowhere near as cold. I think it's because... Temperature control panel, okay. No, I think the other room might have only been so cold because it was chocolate. And this doesn't look like it's chocolate. Could be wrong. Either way, this room also seems to have been fitted with a temperature control panel. Oh. Oh, it's over by that orange lamp, right? Wait, where? I think I can see it on the wall, maybe? Indeed. Let's not forget to investigate it later. Even so, this room is like something out of a fairy tale. Is this cream-covered castle Delicia's work? Where is Delicia? Oi, can I help you? Oh. Well, here she is. Oh my god, that music. I can't remember what it was played on before. Was it when we first met Simon? With the monkey? So, hello boys. I'm Delicia Scones. Scones. In my native England, I'm known as Miss Delicious. Being called... Oh. Wondering who he was on about then. Being called a boy even though I'm already 34. I'm certain... it's certainly a rare experience. Boys? I understand you're calling me that, but Mr. Edgeworth? As far as I'm concerned, you're all boys to me. Even that detective over there. My name is Bad, not Boy. Just how old is this woman? Mr. Attorney, let's just finish our business here. Right. I wonder who that could have been. It could only be Von Karma. You, what do you think you're doing conversing with a mere attorney? It's gotta be Von Karma. Oh, where the hell did he come from? Was he inside that castle? Mr. Edgeworth, a scary man came out of that kind of castle. He did. Von Karma. This man is Prosecutor Von Karma? Manny. So he's Von Karma. Pleased to meet you, Prosecutor Von Karma. My name is Gregory Edgeworth, defense attorney. Bah, I have no interest in the names of defense attorneys. After all, they only exist to be crushed by me. What a rude man. That's Von Karma. That piercing gaze and furrowed brow. Ugh, he's even scarier than the rumours say. Although that statement was very rude. Prosecutor Von Karma, would you allow us to investigate too? You think I would give information to a mere defense attorney? As I thought, it won't be that simple. However, I'll make a special exception for this room. Why did he change his mind so quickly? You, old bloodhound. Don't call me that. My name is Bad. Huh, a mere detective speaking back to me. I admire your courage, at least. Bad, stand watch and see to it that they don't misbehave. Why me? I'll not accept your refusal. Well then, I'll be investigating Gustavia's room next. I still don't know how I say his name. Gustavia. Could be either. I'm babysitting again. Wonder why he and Von Karma aren't investigating together. Instead of being on bad terms, it seems like they hardly know each other. Mr. Edworth, now that we've got Von Karma's permission, we can continue investigating. Yes, his manner bothers me, but I am glad we can at least continue the investigation. Hold it. I also need to investigate this room. I don't want you disturbing the room. So you'll investigate after me. What? Aren't you the detective in charge of this case? Why haven't you investigated this room yet? The detective in charge of the initial investigation was a close colleague of Von Karma. I came to take over for him, so he only got to this mansion just recently. So that's why he and Von Karma aren't investigating together. Detective Bad, will you allow us to investigate with you like before? In doing so, you'll be able to supervise us and also ensure we don't tamper with anything. You want me to watch you? You're a strange lawyer. I'll let you stick around. A little longer. Yay! You did it, Mr. Edworth. Thank you, Detective Bed. But if I decide you're holding up the investigation, you'll have to leave. Yes, I understand. Well then, let's begin the investigation. So, contest venue, Delicious room. Of course, I have to examine this bloody thing. What the heck? I can't believe this amazing castle is made entirely out of confectionery. I know, what a work of fantasy. It's like a fairy tale world. You like all this fairy tale stuff, don't you? Sorry. I got a bit too excited, didn't I? No, it's interesting to me that you're so enthusiastic about it, unlike my son. Your son? He's only in grade school, yet he prefers to read law books instead of fairy tales. I am worried that he won't be able to make any friends that he can talk to. Huh, what an interesting kid. I'd like to be his friend. I think you'd be more of an older brother to him. An older brother, huh? Ugh. Well, I've got some growing up to do then. Yes, and that's why we have to continue with the investigation. Oh, right. Inspect the very suspicious looking nook and cranny. Well, these things are fairly suspicious. The castle doors are open. When someone opens a door, they really should remember to close it afterwards. Would he say that directly to Prosecutor Von Karma, though? Huh? Looks like there's some stuff inside. Let's see. Wait, I'll examine it. Stay out of the way. This fresh cream melts too easy. So fragile desserts. The cream is melting, a single touch can cause it to break. Okay. Seems like Detective Bad's shoes got covered in cream. Delicious. Why were these objects kept inside the candy castle? If there's anything you want to investigate, you better speak up now. I get the feeling that's all. There's also the cloth, or whatever they are. Oops. I always forget to switch the screens back. There are rolls of blue cloth here. Looks like there's 4 of them in all. They certainly don't look like desserts. Yeah. I don't know what the cloth is for. It almost seems like it was hidden here inside the castle. Also, the colour of this cloth looks familiar somehow. Wait, I already examined these, but they didn't... I guess they didn't count? No, I suppose they didn't. 2 big rocks are placed here. It's like a storage room. Yeah, the inside of the county castle isn't so dreamy. Hey, maybe they're raw gemstones. Who knew that there were such treasures hidden within a castle? Seems like a rather careless way to handle treasure. It looks like there's something underneath the rocks. Seems there's a pedestal attached to both of the rocks. Pedestal of rock. The rocks in the castle have a pedestal attached to them for some reason. Of course, it's a pedestal for displaying the gems. Well, in any case, this is no ordinary object. The only other thing I could think to explore would be this. I mean, it lets me examine it, so there's that. This pillar has a hexagonal recess. Looks like a pedestal, but it has nothing in it. A hexagonal recess, huh? I wonder what would have been put in there. Hexagonal recess. The two pillars have a hexagonal recess on top. What were they for? The two stones that are inside the castle? A giant strawberry would fit with the fresh cream. Detective Bad, I don't think strawberries are hexagonal. I was just hoping. Then I hope it's a banana. I think I'd prefer blueberries. Right, logic. Oh wow, I actually still have these. Oh. Yeah, there we go. The rocks in the castle have a pedestal attached to them for some reason, and it's a hexagon. Oh, it's hexagonal. Yeah, connect those two. Whoosh! Why were they taken off the castle and hidden inside? That makes no sense. The rock's pedestal has a similar shape to the recesses on the castle's pillars. Perhaps the rock is meant to be placed on top of the pillars. Oh, that's right. They're both hexagonal. I wonder why they were hidden inside the castle, though. Yeah, I wonder that too. The blue cloth and the rocks inside the castle. I wonder if they belong to Delicia. Delicia? Those things in the castle. What are they used for? Those? I'm afraid I can't tell you. Looks like Von Karma is keeping her silent. I've been found out. He'll get mad at me if I talk. Prosecutor Von Karma doesn't intend on being upfront with his information. Yeah, that's Von Karma. Aw, it's such a shame. We finally figured out where the rocks are supposed to go. Could it be that you're interested in my goods? Eh? Your goods? Those are my popular relaxation goods. You mean the rocks and the cloth? Yeah, see, that's right. You see, they're not actually rocks, but special lamps made from rock salt. Wow, so those are lamps. Love how he's always got stars in his eyes. It gets even more exciting, because this cloth also has an amazing secret. As soon as we showed interest in her goods, she became quite talkative. Since we've got them out... Oh, come experience the therapy, boys. Baddie, could you put everything up? It's not baddie, it's bad. So you won't do it? It's baddie, is baddie being a bad boy? Oh my. Labby, are you done photographing this room? Yes sir, I am. Then go help Delicia. Yes sir, I'm on it. Thanks, I knew you were a good boy underneath, Baddie. Miss Delicious, that was amazing. You even persuaded Detective Bad. Wow. Thanks a lot, Baddie. And you too, Forensies. Oh my god. She even gave the Forensics a nickname. I think that's her way of showing she cares. What's so therapeutic about these things, anyway? We don't have time for that now, Baddie. The show's about to begin. Forensies, finishing touches, please. Yes, ma'am. She's got them wrapped around her finger. Somehow. Whoa. Oh! It's... wow. It's so beautiful. It really is. I wish my son could see this. Oh yeah, I told you so, right? The Four Fairies and the Curious Candy Castle was the theme of my work. It's so sparkly and cute, right? It seems like one of them is missing something. The truth is, I had planned to unveil it during the contest. Well, I'm glad I got to show it to you boys. Huh. But it doesn't look like the rock salt lamps are lighting up. Huh? I wonder why. I think I'll need to examine the rocks and the fairies again. One of the cloths, or two of the cloths aren't lit up. Wait, so if I examine... Okay, so I'm able to do this. Oh! I've just not noticed something. So it seems one of these lamps was used from the looks of things. It's blood-stained. So I guess that's the blunt object that was used to beat, God, what was it called? Shoot, I don't remember. What was it called? Dover, that was it. Isaac Dover. So the castle is adorned with a beautiful cloth. I think this was the cloth that was in the castle. Entranceways are always beautiful. That's what a detective thinks. Yes, after Detective Bad's shoes have trampled all over it. But this is no time for snide remarks. What? I wanted to examine this. It must be because I'm trying to examine the bloodstain, and instead I should just be focusing on the pillar. Looks like both the lamps in the pillars are broken. Both of their light bulbs are broken. Maybe they were dropped on the floor. There's some sort of red stain on this lamp surface. This stain. Could it be... That smell. There's no mistaking it. It's a bloodstain. Blood-stained rock salt lamp. Someone's bloodstain was left on the rock salt lamp. I wonder whose that could be. But that's a bloodstain. Why is there a bloodstain on this lamp? I wonder if this has something to do with the lamp bulb being broken. I should also take a look at the other lamp here. Really? This is where Delicia originally intended to put the lamps. I don't get why she put them away, put them in the castle. Since they're broken and don't light up, maybe she decided to put them out of the way. If she wanted them out of the way, there are many other places to store them. It's like that old saying, hide the salt in the sugar bag. I think the saying goes, hide a tree in the forest. If Delicia intended to use these lamps as decorations during the contest, it creates a contradiction with that piece of evidence. I need to deduce the contradiction at the scene. Okay. What else is there? Oh wait! I can actually connect Beaten to Death with the bloodstained rock salt lamp. Yeah, beaten to death with a blunt object. I wonder what that could have been. Boom. There is evidence that the victim was beaten to death with a blunt object. What's more, there's a bloodstain on one of the broken rock salt lamps. Could this lamp have been the murder weapon? You're right. It could have been used as a weapon. Labby, is the blood analysis on this rock salt lamp finished? Yes, sir. It finished just a few moments ago. The bloodstain on that lamp belonged to the victim. You heard what he said. Rock salt lamp, stained with the victim's blood. So that's what was used to kill him. The murder weapon was hidden in Delicia's room. We need to consider her as one of the suspects as well. Alright. There's a cover on the wall, just like in Mr. Master's room. Let's open it up. The room temperature is 68 Fahrenheit, and the lights are set to green. Gustavia said that 50 Fahrenheit is the ideal temperature for fresh cream. This room's temperature is too high. High room temp. The temperature in Delicia's room is too high for fresh cream. Oh. This is intriguing. I wonder. Fragile desserts. Oh, it's melting. Because of the high room temp. Don't really know how this is that useful, but whatever. The reason the fresh cream is so fragile is due to the temperature in this room. So my shoes got creamed because the room temperature is set to 60 or set at 68 Fahrenheit. Speaking of which, when you opened the castle door, the doorknob didn't break. Yeah. It was stronger than I thought. Strong? A dessert? Detective Bad, could you have a closer look at that doorknob? This is... It would seem this doorknob isn't a dessert. And it's not just the doorknob. This castle and the fairies are just plastic moulds coated in fresh cream. Then this isn't a dessert piece at all. It would seem they're just fake desserts covered in fresh cream. Oh, so fake desserts. Delicia made fake desserts. What are her true intentions? I'm able to examine these? No, I can talk to her. I want to examine the... Oh, I can't go behind it, really? No. Yeah, there's nothing around here that I can actually interact with. Oh, wait. Oh, I've just realised what's missing. There's a piece of cloth that's above all of them except for this one. Unlike the other fairies, this one doesn't have a fluorescent cloth. It's delicious. It's not right to leave one out. I don't like it either. But one fluorescent cloth and a machine have gone missing. You've lost a cloth and a machine? What sort of machine is it? Oi, let me tell you. Each piece of fluorescent cloth is hooked up to one of these machines. The machine is called a rainbow light device. Light is sent through the cable and into the cloth, which is made of optic fibres. Just fiddle around with the settings of it, and it will turn into all sorts of colours. When it glows red, it's like a raging inferno. When it glows blue, you can almost feel the glittering cool ice. It's powered by a long-lasting battery that's resistant to changes in the temperature. I'm not very familiar with these kinds of devices. Mr. Edgeworth, she's saying it's a machine that transmits light to a special cloth. I see. It's amazing what they come up with these days. So, one rainbow light device and one fluorescent cloth are missing. You see, that's right. Wherever could they be? This fluorescent cloth. Could it be related to the case? So, it changes colour with a rainbow light device, belongs to Delicia, one of them is missing. Suppose the only other thing I can do is deduce. But what could I deduce with? Oh! She broke the rules. Yeah. All desserts... What was it? All desserts not made of dessert are prohibited. Either way, deduce. It is. Well, I'm hoping it's this that's fine. It doesn't really matter, I guess. Oh wait, yeah, because they're not a dessert. None of her pieces are dessert. Eureka! Detective Bennett, please read the contest leaflet. Any decorations, that's what it was. Any decorations not made from desserts are prohibited. Huh. These rock salt lamps and the fluorescent cloths go against the rules. So Delicia broke the rules. Delicia used other objects besides desserts for her decorations. So maybe that's why they were hidden in the castle. I wonder about that. I think we should investigate further into Delicia's actions. Right, now the only thing I think I can do is examine. No, not examine. Do me logic. I've examined everything. Delicia broke rules, fake desserts... Using decorations that were against the rules and making fake desserts. A lot of Delicia's actions seem suspicious. Yeah. It doesn't seem like she's aiming to be the world's greatest pastry chef. Also, the temperature of this room is way too high. Is there a reason for that? So fake desserts. Delicia made fake desserts by covering plastic molds with fresh cream. I wonder. I think we should ask Delicia directly. There we go. Oh, pardon me. Huh? Miss Delicious? You don't seem as energetic as you were earlier. Delicia, can I just ask, did something happen with Von Karma? Yes-y, nothing of the sort. But you just said yes-y. That yes-y just now was only a greeting. You're a cute boy. I like you. What's your first name? It's Raymond, but... Well, Ray Ray, I think you'll make a good man of yourself someday. Ray Ray. How about that? I think you have a way with British ladies. She's a little different from my image of a lady. Why don't we listen to what she has to say? Alright, so during the contest... Could you tell me about your actions during the contest? Yeah, see, we began making desserts for the contest around 10 o'clock. Basically, I was in here making my desserts the whole time. At 1:30, I joined the afternoon tea for about an hour or so. Afternoon tea? It's a social occasion, where conversation is had over black tea and cakes. So it's pretty much a tea party. Well, I suppose. Oh, Greggy, you're a smart boy, aren't you? When did I become Greggy? Where was the afternoon tea held? It took place in the gardens outside of the fountain patio. It's our customary break time during the contest. It's always held at the same time. Today there were just 3 of us who took part: Jeffy, Katie, and me. Since Jeffy had already finished his creations, he was there from beginning to end. Icy and Gusty didn't join in because they hadn't finished their desserts yet. So everyone other than Mr. Dover and Mr. Gustavia participated. God. Yes, actually I hadn't finished my dessert yet either. I just wanted to try some of Jeffy's handmade pastries and Katie's fresh brewed tea. So, after I had eaten my fill, I returned before everyone else. During the contest, did you enter any of the other contestants' rooms? What are you saying? We found your fingerprints on the desserts at the crime scene. You found them? Are you admitting that you went to the scene of the murder? I admit it. But I'm not the murderer. It's the honest truth, please hear me out. The honest truth, eh? So what were you doing in Mr. Master's room? The truth is, I was studying his desserts. Studying? Because Jeffy's so talented at making sweets. Well, nobody was in his room at the time, so I decided to study his works for a bit. So dessert study... Delicia went to Mr. Master's room to study his desserts. But if you were just looking, you wouldn't have left your fingerprints behind. You see, it's natural that I left fingerprints on the desserts. For the sake of research, I ate some of his desserts. Isn't that like stealing food? It couldn't be. The one who wrecked Mr. Master's room was... I'm sorry, it wasn't my intention to vandalize the room, but... I did eat a few parts of the desserts in his room. I secretly ate little bits and pieces so Jeffy wouldn't find out. So, did you eat the ship stand as well? Yeah, see, I did. Ah. The chocolate ship broke. Because of you. I'm sorry. So, the reason she left the afternoon tea early... was to preserve her appetite. But you've got to believe me on this. I'm not the murderer. Her actions are sufficiently suspicious, but... I won't press on it yet. Okay, so what about the room temp? Why is it so damn hot in here? Delicia, why is the room temperature set to 68 degrees Fahrenheit? The cold doesn't agree with me, plus it's bad for the body. This figure doesn't just maintain itself, you know. Naturally, as a lady, I want to look young forever. I wonder how old Miss Delicious really is. Raymond, a true gentleman, never asks a woman her age. This room is mainly filled with cream, and 50 degrees Fahrenheit is the recommended temperature for preserving fresh cream. What, really? No, it's all gone to waste. Looks like Miss Delicious didn't know. Knowledge was lacking. Delicia seems lacking in the basic knowledge of dessert making. I thought she was supposed to be a first-class pastry chef. The fake desserts and the rule violations, and now, her lack of basic knowledge. Looks like she keeps many secrets. Right, only thing I can do now is logic. Alrighty. So Delicia's knowledge in the art of dessert making is lacking in fundamental areas. And she claims she went into Mr. Master's room in order to study his desserts. His actions and ideas are not fitting of someone aiming to be the world's greatest pastry chef. Yeah. They don't sound like the words of a pro. It's like she doesn't even realize it. Or maybe she isn't a real pastry chef. Perhaps she had some other intention. It's possible that she didn't go into the room to study desserts, but to hide the body. So then, are you saying Miss Delicious is the criminal? We can't say that for sure yet. Well, I know she's hiding something from us. That's enough investigating. We found much more than I expected. And yet, something from before still bothers me. Prosecutor Von Karma must have found the murder weapon in this room. So then, why did he let Delicia be? Firstly, I must ascertain Von Karma's true motives. Detective Bad, I would like to ask Prosecutor Von Karma something. I've also got business with him. And Delicia there too. What's the idea, Baddie? Don't glare at me like that. It seems Detective Bad also has his doubts about Delicia and Von Karma. Delicia, would you come with us for a moment? Yesy, that's fine. What for? We have to find Von Karma. There are some things we need to talk about. Yeah. Like why you lie. Oh, it's Christmas Eve. I didn't even realise. There he is. Prosecutor Von Karma, we need to talk about the case. Tisk, tisk, tisk. From the look on your face, I assume you found the murder weapon? Yes. We discovered the murder weapon in Delicia's room. It would seem Mr. Master isn't the only suspect in this case. Bah, that's not true. Where the murder weapon was found does not change the fact that Master is the culprit. As long as I am here. Why is Von Karma so sure of himself? Well then, aren't you going to explain? Why the murder weapon was in Delicia's room? Naturally. If you wish to know, I'll tell you. Ah! We're arguing with Von Karma. About the murder weapon. In order to pin the crime on Delicia, Master used the rock salt lamp to kill the victim. He then deposited the murder weapon in Delicia's room. If he had left the murder weapon at the crime scene, Master would have been the one suspected. He couldn't move the body, but it was easy to move the murder weapon. Ergo, there would be no evidence pointing to a specific culprit at the crime scene. Oh damn. Mr. Master took the rock salt lamp. Precisely. I carried out the investigation myself. There can be no room for doubt. Do you have evidence that he moved it? That will not be necessary. What? Tisk, tisk, tisk. If you have an objection, say it. Oh, the finger snap. Do you think a mere defense attorney can break my logic? Oh dear. Alright, time to rebut. Am I okay to press? Last time we ended up going against Von Karma, if I pressed the wrong thing, it resulted in a game over. Maybe the game is a bit more lenient now. Who knows? He took the rock salt lamp from Delicia's room. Exactly. In order to kill Dover, he had prepared the murder weapon beforehand. But the murder weapon was found in Delicia's room. Doesn't that place suspicion on Delicia too? I'm not finished. Master killed Dover. Right. Fold it. So the murder weapon was the rock salt lamp hidden inside the candy castle. I discovered the murder weapon when I entered the castle. Be thankful, defense attorney, that you too came by this information. Why was it necessary for you to enter the castle? Maybe he's interested in candy castles. Why you? Do you think I went in there because I wanted to? The detectives at the scene were useless, so I had to investigate myself. I wasn't in charge of the initial investigation. Detective Bad joined the investigation halfway through. A certain work ethic is required if you are to gain my trust. This is a flagrant waste of time. I'll continue. Hold it. Wouldn't the body left behind in his room also be cause for suspicion? Moreover... Okay. I have a favourite saying. I'd like to share it with you. Even dogs can wait. Wait until I finished. That's exactly what I like to say to you. I love how I'm able to just press everything. You're saying that Mr. Master removed the murder weapon and hid the body in the chest. He believed that if he hid it inside his own work, it would not be discovered. So savoury. Don't you mean so sorry? She shows no sign of remorse. He moved the murder weapon and left the body at the scene. There's no evidence pointing to a specific culprit at the crime scene. I think you're wrong there, bud. What does this actually say? Was anything removed? I've just realised. What's missing? Yep, what's missing from Delicia's room is actually wrapped up with Dover's body. The blue cloth. Does it actually say anything about it? No, just the lid was closed. Yeah, the cloth. I'm assuming... Could I present that? I'll just present the cloth. There we go. Objection! You're wrong. It's true that the murder weapon and bloodstains disappeared from the vicinity. However, there was still one piece of incriminating evidence left behind. Have a look at this photograph, which was taken when the body was first discovered. This cloth was used to wrap the body. Doesn't it remind you of the fluorescent cloth from Delicia's room? My fluorescent cloth was at the crime scene? Fluorescent cloth. Just what part of this cloth is fluorescent? As I guess Von Karma doesn't know about this cloth's secret. It looks like a normal cloth at first glance, but if you use this rainbow light device, you can make it glow. Ooh. He's like, huh? Prosecutor Von Karma seems a little surprised. I don't think it was the cloth's ability to glow that surprised him. One sheet of this fluorescent cloth is currently unaccounted for. Now, I'd like you to look at the colour of the cloth in this photo. Don't you think it looks like the colour of the fluorescent cloth before it's been lit up? Both the rock salt lamp and fluorescent cloth originally belonged to Delicia. Wouldn't it be natural to assume that this cloth was used to wrap the body? Prosecutor Von Karma? I believe the present conditions give us much reason to suspect Delicia. Oh. What the? What lifted that up? Was it her foot? Hold it, Greggy. Do you really suspect me? I don't yet know if you are the culprit. But it is true that you're hiding something, am I right? That's objection. So, you're saying that the murder weapon and the cloth were originally from Delicia's room? Yes. Tisk tisk tisk. What's so funny? Just as I expected from you. The murder weapon and the cloth are not from her room. How unfortunate for you. What does he mean? Before the contest began, Master noticed her violation of the rules. He confiscated the cloth and the rock salt lamp and kept them in his room for safekeeping. What? The victim was not seen, as he stayed locked up in his room after the contest had begun. The only one who could have unlocked the locked rooms was Jeff Master. And the murder weapon, the rock salt lamp, was being kept in Master's room. This should be the decisive evidence in proving Master's guilt. Defense attorney? You've lost to me before you even had the chance, or had a chance, to stand in court. What's this? What? Was all our investigating for nothing? Miss Delicious, why didn't you tell us about your confiscated items? Well, Manny said I'd look suspicious if I did. Prosecutor Von Karma. And it's true, you all suspect me, don't you? Tisk tisk tisk, how clumsy of you, defense attorney. Von Karma. So that's why he let us investigate Alicia's room. And in your clumsiness, there's one more thing I need to inform you of. 2 sets of fingerprints were found on the murder weapon. 2. Yes. They belong to Jeff Master and Alicia Scones. No other fingerprints were found. After Master killed Dover with the confiscated rock salt lamb, he foolishly concealed the murder weapon bearing his own fingerprints in its owner's room. Tisk tisk. I don't even need to prove my case in court. I have more than enough perfect evidence to prove Master's guilt. Hold it. I have some doubts about the fluorescent cloth found in Mr. Master's room. Ah, irrelevant. After disposing of the body, he intended to return it to Delicia's room. I don't have enough information to refute Von Karma's reasoning. Tisk tisk tisk, nothing left to say? If your job is done, leave this place. That's... I can't give up yet. We've wasted enough time as it is. Bad, take them away. What? Ah, there are still some doubts left in our investigation. Detective Bad. What's the meaning of this? It's not my nature to leave any doubts behind. There is still one piece of evidence that has yet to be identified. That's right, there are still the traces someone left behind. Talk about your doubts as much as you want later. But this, my dear attorney, is none of your business. No, I also have some doubts about one piece of evidence. It's likely that I have the same doubts Detective Bad has. What? This is the piece of evidence left in Mr. Master's room that has yet to be identified. The frame fingerprints. Or finger marks, even. Somebody left gloved finger marks on one of Mr. Master's desserts. If these were the killer's finger marks, then it's possible that the killer also didn't leave any fingerprints on the murder weapon. Oh! How did you know the state of this crime scene? I gave them permission to investigate. Bad, what possessed you to let a defense attorney into the crime scene? I don't recall you telling me not to let them in. Such impudence. You better remember, Bad. Your salary review depends on me. Uh-oh. This isn't good for Bad. I'm so glad I have a kind boss like Mr. Edgeworth. Your salary review depends on how you perform here. I'm surprised at what a mere attorney like you managed to uncover in such a short time. However, it's possible those finger marks were Master's own doing. Because he always wore gloves while cooking. Do you have evidence that those finger marks were left by Master? And moreover, there are still a few points of suspicion surrounding Delicia. Oh? You still haven't given up on that? Greggy, you still suspect me? I've already apologized for stealing a few bites. I don't want to suspect you. However, I can't easily trust those who tell lies. You must still be hiding something. Greggy is a bully. Don't you know the temperature fresh cream must be kept at? You call yourself a dessert chef, but you lack even the most basic knowledge. I'm sorry for my lack of knowledge. In your case, it's not even about the lack of knowledge. In truth, you don't even know how to make desserts, do you? Defense attorney, stop trying to force your own reasoning. In a court of law, the evidence tells all. If you say the witness is lying, show it with evidence. We're not in court yet, but very well. This evidence shows that Delicia can't make desserts. Pretty easy. Fake desserts. Oh wait, yeah. I pressed A instead of X. I was getting mixed up with the buttons because I'm using an Xbox controller, so A is B and Y is X is Y. It's confusing. The only things Delicia made were those that broke the rules. The lamp and cloth that broke the rules were being held in Master's room. There is no way the witness could have returned them to her room. Those were not the only fake desserts she made. What? Her desserts may look like something out of a fairy tale at first glance. But in reality, they are nothing but mannequins decorated with cream. Apart from the cream, they're all fake. What? This is not something one aiming to become the world's greatest pastry chef would do. Is this true, Bad? Yes, my shoes can attest to that. Will that be enough to convince Prosecutor Von Karma? Once he sees what Delicia has done, he'll have no choice but to be convinced. Delicia! The fact that your actions could lead to you being a suspect is no laughing matter. But that's... I didn't murder. Isn't it time you told us the whole truth? Who are you? And why were you indulging yourself in another contestant's work? Yesy, I understand. Oh. The truth is, I'm not really a dessert chef, like I led you to believe. I'm actually a pharmacist. What? A pharmacist? That's a completely different occupation. It's no wonder he couldn't hide his surprise. Why is a pharmacist like you participating in this contest? I just love eating desserts. I joined because I thought I'd be able to eat some of Jeffy's desserts. I never thought I'd end up making it to the finals. Even Prosecutor Von Karma is at a loss for words. So the real reason you... what? Oh, that's the real reason why you entered the contest? You see, as expected, Jeffy's desserts were oh so good. So, the gloved finger marks on the picture frame were your doing? No way, I never wore gloves. Delicious fingerprints were found on Mr. Master's chocolates. So it is true that she wasn't wearing gloves. Yes, exactly, you do believe me, Greggy. Is your face stuffed with nothing but desserts? Sorry, Manny. I think it's her belly that's stuffed. Were Master's desserts all that you ate? Actually, no. After the afternoon tea, I also ate Icy's desserts. Oh my god. You mean you entered the victim's room? Yeah, see, exactly. The room was empty after all. Perhaps the victim was already dead by then. But my first bite tasted way too salty and I couldn't eat it. So I ate the delicious star-shaped dessert that was nearby. It's delicious, you really are a glutton. It is rare you see a woman with this kind of appetite. That's all I did. Reggie, Manny, everyone, I'm sorry I caused you trouble. Now that you've told us the truth, everything's fine. There's no need to apologise. This does not mean that your testimony is trustworthy. I'll be investigating the victim's room after this. Only then will I decide if your testimony is true. Prosecutor Von Karma, I'd like to go as well. I also need to ascertain whether my reasoning, up until now, has been correct. I'll let you follow, but I have no intention of letting you investigate. That's enough for me. So, December 24th, contest venue, Dober's room. This. What is the meaning of this? Huh? Oh, Jesus. Nothing's there. The desserts adorning the victim's room had disappeared, without a trace. Was this the true killer's doing? A body that was hidden inside a dessert, and a murder weapon that was moved. Further investigation would be required to arrive at the truth of this case. Oh, to be continued. Really? Okay. Interesting. Oh right, so now we're back in the present day. Jesus. Zodiac Art Gallery, Fountain Patio. Oh, so this is no longer the contest venue. It's just like a museum. Oops. I guess I went on for a little too long there. Something like that happened? I had no idea. None of the case files I read went into such detail. Well, I doubt there would be anything in there that would be inconvenient to the prosecution. Especially with that Von Karma at the head. How did the investigation go from there? The desserts had disappeared from the victim's room, so the investigation hit a rough patch. Thanks to that, it took about a whole year before a verdict was handed down. 1 whole year. This was before the whole 3-day pre-trial system was established. Trials didn't need to finish in the short amount of time that they do now. I see. Did they ever find out why the victim's desserts disappeared? Well, kinda. His dessert was like a candy ice sculpture made from sherbet. Since it was made from ice, the general consensus was that it had melted. However, that might not quite be the case. What do you mean? This museum used to be Mr. Master's mansion, the stage of the IS-7 incident. And in this very place, they're exhibiting the sherbet salon from 18 years ago. The victim's dessert. Yep. Though, it could be just a replica of the original. That's why Uncle Ray had to come today, to check it out. And for your old man too. Now then, let's get a move on and check out the room. I'm pretty sure it's over in the Winter Palace. Am I actually in control or what? Oh no. Bum 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 bum. The Winter Palace should be... Huh? It's... locked up. That's odd. They've already opened the museum. Mr. Shields, according to the pamphlet we received at the entrance, the Winter Palace is over here. Ooh. Oh, that's, what's his face? Really? I could've sworn it was this one. Alright, let's go. We gotta confirm the truth of what happened 18 years ago. No, it was a portrait of Jeff Masters. Oh, look who it is! Yeah, I can't remember his name. Is it Ron Delight? Mask to Mask. And then you've got not Dahlia. Crap, can't remember her name. Shit. Either way, they're from Trials and Tribulations. Huh. That's cool though. I like that. Bum 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 bum. So, man, it's still as cold as ever. Uncle Ray's gonna freeze solid. It seems the Winter Palace lives up to its name. It's like a freezer in here. With the light dimmed like this, it's almost as if the room itself is made of ice. I think the control panel for the room temperature is on the back wall. Miles, why don't you check what temperature it's set at for me? Uncle Ray's gonna give the curator a piece of his mind later. It's way too cold in here. Very well. If you want to look around the room a bit, feel free to stay, or freeze, to your heart's content. I'll get the camera ready. I want to take some pictures of this place, and show it to your old man. Understood? So who's this? There's a boy with a school bag. Did he come to the art gallery by himself? She even quit her job in order to run this museum. I don't really get it. Perhaps one of his parents knows the curator? I don't know if that's a, cameo? A giant block of ice is being displayed here. It appears to be quite heavy. No, the inside must be hollow. On the surface, there is an image of the stars and a written description. So, the Pleiades, also known as the Seven Sisters, a star cluster that comprises a part of Taurus. But for all these stars to be grouped together as a cluster, the ways of the ancient people must have been very imprecise. There are two sculptures displayed here. These sculptures are replicas of the desserts that vanished 18 years ago. Impressive, huh? These sculptures made of ice. Yes. My father never got to see these ice sculptures. And now, 18 years later, I'm standing before them. Miles, sorry to bother you while you're deep in thought. Would you turn this way a little? Hmm? Like this? Yes, yes, like that. You're taking a picture of it. Ah. Mr. Shields, you're not... Say cheese. Mr. Shields, please don't take pictures of me. Sorry, my bad. I just wanted to make sure the camera works okay. That camera looks quite old. Yeah, well, that's because it's an old-fashioned camera. You know, an instant camera. It automatically develops the photos after shooting. Pretty cool, huh? Yes, I know. Well, I've never used one. You're quite the know-it-all. You really are the old man's son. Yeah, could you move a bit? I want to take some more photos of the room. Okay. His face has taken on an unusually serious expression. He's probably thinking about the IS-7 incident. Man, I snapped a bunch. And they're already developed, see? Oh damn. He shoved them in my face before I could reply. Well, I have one more question for you, Mr. Know-It-All. Do you know what these two sculptures represent? The sculptures of Taurus and Gemini from the winter constellations. Ooh, bingo. Not bad, Miles. That's probably why they call this room the Winter Palace. Uncle Ray is feeling generous today, so I'll give you a copy of this photo too. Thanks. Alright, identical to the sherbet desserts the victim made 18 years ago. Touch the check button for details. Are these replicas of the constellation desserts that were made 18 years ago? Yeah. Looks like these two sculptures are also made out of sherbet. Uncle Ray's also only seen the real sculptures in photos. But these sculptures look like the real deal. This is what you wanted to show me? Yeah. I think your old man would have wanted you to see it as well. I'm sorry. Uncle Ray didn't have the courage to come here alone. Don't apologize. This was a good opportunity to learn about my father's case. That means a lot to me. So, you want me to take another commemorative photo? No thanks. So if I actually look at this... To create something like this out of sherbet, even reproducing it would require a considerable technique. The glass case seems to be lit up from the inside. If those stanchions weren't there, I could get a closer look. Well, how about this? I'll yell out, Master Mask is here. Yes, it's me, I'm Master Mask. Good, good. Wait, wasn't her name Delilah? Ronnie! Good, good. Wait, Ronnie, if you say that, you'll get arrested. Come on, if we don't plan properly, we won't be able to sell it. What are these two talking about? Yeah. Was it Delilah? I really don't remember her name. I know her name began with D, but I honestly don't remember her name. For some reason, a giant block of ice is on display. There's a description written on the surface, Castor and Pollux. Every December, large meteor showers appear in the direction of these two stars. And so, Master Mask, and then I... Those two are being rather noisy and distracting. It can't be helped. I should go look at another exhibit. I like the cameo. Mr. Shields, I can't find the temperature control panel. Oh, right. They keep it where it's hard to find. Just one moment. Huh? It's locked. Makes sense. They wouldn't want the guests changing the temperature themselves. According to the pamphlet, the Winter Palace has a temperature of 27 Fahrenheit. Ugh. Now that is cold. Uncle Ray's gonna freeze to death. Guess I'll need to find someone to share body heat with. Preferably a beautiful lady. Oh, are you trying to freeze me to death as well with those cold eyes? Of course not. Alrighty, now that I've got some pictures of this room, let's check out the other places, or palaces. Might as well see them all, since we're already here. I suppose you're right. What the hell was that? That yell just now. It came from the fountain patio. Let's go, Miles. Like how when he runs he has to hold his hat. Oh dear. Is that a dead guy? Uh-oh, not good. There's someone passed out on the floor. And that man there is... It's Laurice. Larry, what are you doing here? No, I'm getting ahead of myself. What exactly happened here? They're edgy. I saw something that no one should ever have to see. Again. Larry, calm down. Why is there someone passed out here? Or passed out there? I didn't do anything. He just fell down all of a sudden. This man, he can't be. What? Excuse me, but what is the matter here? You can't raise such a ruckus in the museum, boys. Well, there's Delicia. This scent is... Seems like he's still breathing, but this is a bad situation. Miles, it's not safe here. Get everyone out of here. Everyone get away from that room right now. There's poison gas coming out of it. What on earth? So, fountain patio. Everything okay? Is all good? Yes or no? Mr. Shields, how is the victim? Looks like he breathed in a little too much of that poison gas. He's still unconscious. According to the doctor in the ambulance, there are no external injuries or any other wounds. Thanks to our fortunate timing, we were able to save him before he was too far gone. But he's not out of the woods yet. He's currently being treated by a specialist in the infirmary. I see. Mr. Shields, is he an acquaintance of yours? Yeah, you could say that. He's Dane Gustavia. Ah, he was involved in the IS-7 incident. The pastry chef? So he was involved in the case 18 years ago. At least the other guy's doing alright. Is he a friend of yours, Miles? Yes, you could say that. It's fortunate you were not hurt, Larry. What's "you could say that" supposed to mean, edgy? How could you treat a childhood friend like that? That's just cruel. And also, when I'm dressed like this, I'm called Laurice Donham, you know. I actually know how to say the name now. Because of the anime, the second season. Because obviously they cover Trial and Tribulations in that, and obviously they say the name. It's Donham. So don't call me Larry, it's Laurice. This man is Larry Butts. He's nothing but trouble, but he's been one of my friends since grade school. Some time ago, he awakened to the calling of art and assumed the alias Laurice Donham. But a Butts by any other name would smell just as much. Really? You two are childhood friends? I better report that to your old man too. I'm sure it'll bring him joy. He was always worried about you not being able to make friends. Good for you, Edgy. Why are you glad to have a bosom buddy like me? My father was worried about something like that. But anyway, what are you doing in a place like this, Larry? How many times do I have to tell you, Edgy? I'm Laurice. What are you doing in a place like this? Yikes, don't glare at me when you talk. So, are you gonna tell me? Isn't it obvious? I've come here to study art. I'm going to take Mandy on a date here, so I was just doing some scouting beforehand. And you're just using art as an excuse to go on a date. Not bad, Laurice. Maybe you can introduce some pretty girls to me next time. Oh, now you're talking my language, dude. I think I'm getting a headache. By the way, Laurice, did you notice anything strange when you found the victim? Nah, not really. Nothing that would make you say, I saw something that no one should ever have to see. Oh yeah, that. I was just surprised when I saw that old dude fall down out of nowhere like that. I didn't do anything this time for once. Is that anything to brag about? Boom, boom, boom. Hey, it's what's-her-face, Katie. Visitors, we wish to deeply apologise for the disturbance. I am the curator of this museum. My name is... oh, not Katie. Catherine Hall. She's also one of the people involved in the IS-7 incident. Hello there, Miss Kate. Remember me? Oh my, she's changed. Wow. So, Monsieur Shields, thank you for your continued assistance. She was the woman we saw at the reception, so she is the curator here. We apologise for the inconvenience, especially since it's the opening day. No, you don't have to apologise for a thing, Miss Kate. I almost forgot, let me introduce you to someone. This is Miles Edgeworth. He's Gregory Edgeworth's son. Oh, Monsieur Edgeworth's... what the fuck? Okay. Oh great, of course. How wonderful! I meet the soon after 18 years. It's an honour to meet you. Defense Attorney Miles Edgeworth. I mean, I'm a prosecutor, but yeah, whatever. Well, that was amazing. You still got that golden voice, Miss Kate. Actually, I'm a prosecutor. Oh, so you're a prosecutor. My most sincere apologies, Monsieur Edgeworth. This woman is very polite, but slightly odd. Katie, could I get your autograph? Right here, pretty please? Yes, if you so desire. Why do you want her autograph? Hey, don't tell me. You don't know who she is. My, you really don't keep up with the entertainment news, do you, Miles? What? What is this unbearable atmosphere? She's a superstar actress, who's been in tons of musicals and movies. She's a great singer, too. Currently, I am the curator of this museum. I've already retired from the stage. I finished filming my role for my last movie a few days ago. My co-stars also said that they would come here once I opened the doors. And here you are, Monsieur Artiste. I return this to you. Thanks a bunch, Katie. I'll treasure it for the rest of my life. Well, looks like me and Maurice share the same interests. So I gathered. Larry, you said you're here to study art. Why don't you practice drawing as well? Since you're here at Miss Hall's Art Museum. Oh, it would be an honour to have Monsieur Artiste sketch our exhibits. Oh, I guess even you have some good ideas every now and then, Edgy. I'll do a bit of sketching for Katie here. And there he goes. What an amusing person. Forgive the disturbance. Incidentally, who was the woman that was with you earlier? That was Madame Delicia Scones. She's currently assisting in the treatment of Monsieur Gustavia in the infirmary. Even though I said infirmary, since this is an art museum now, it is only a provisional. As I am the only staff member working here, I cannot take a leave of my duties for too long. Delicia Scones. I believe we've heard that name before. Mr. Shields? Yep, looks like the whole gang from the IS-7 incident is here. Well, I doubt that's a coincidence. Monsieur Shields, Monsieur Edgeworth, would you care for some hot tea? Oh, Miss Kate's tea, that takes me back. Yes, if you please. Alright. God, the noises are the same as well. Now I must take my leave. I must explain the situation to the other visitors. Alright, thanks for everything. And there she goes. Okay, I was not even going to leave the trolley there. This smells like Ceylon tea. Should drink it before it cools. Oh, this Ceylon tea is of very high quality. And this aroma of citrus does wonders for your concentration, right? Your old man said the exact same thing 18 years ago. But the saucers back then were chilled. Today, they're warm. Anyway. Don't you think this current situation is rather unusual? You mean how everyone involved in the case 18 years ago has gathered at this museum? Yes, I would like to be in charge of this case. If at all possible. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, are you okay? Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Shields. I came here as fast as I could when I heard that you were done in by the poison gas. Wait, what? Oh, my sweet honey Kay. How about a hug after being parted for so long? No. Jeez, so you're perfectly fine. I can't believe you made us worry so much. Detective Gumshoe. What is the meaning of bringing Kay here? I'm sorry, sir. I knew the gas was dangerous, so I tried to stop her. But no matter how much I ran and ran and ran and ran and ran... I like how there's and ran. I couldn't gain any ground. When it comes to running away, no one is faster than the Yatagarasu. But you weren't running away from here. You were running toward here. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm all set, sir. I'll start investigating the crime scene. Since there might still be traces of gas in the room, I'll have to ask everyone to wait here. Very well. I'm counting on you. Good luck in there, Flatfoot. Wow, Gummy's so cool. He's just like a detective. But that's what he is. He's just like a detective. No, he is a detective. Yes, Edgeworth here. Mr. Edgeworth, it looks like the poison gas has dissipated, sir. Oh, which I was in that room. Really? Oh no, half of the stuff's melted. Detective, calmly explain the state of the Autumn Palace. Yes, sir. I'll start with the exhibits. On the left, there's a statue of two people, or with two people. And on the right, there's a statue of an animal with two horns. A statue of two people and a statue of an animal with horns. Isn't that the exact same thing I saw in the Winter Palace just a while ago? Oh! Wait a minute. Are there two rooms set up as the Water Palace? Also, the room is wet with water thanks to the sprinkler system. That also prevented the gas from harming anyone else. The sprinkler system? Was there a fire in the room? There are no signs of a fire, and the fire alarm hasn't gone off either, sir. The sprinklers in this museum are the kind that detects both smoke and fire. It was in the Autumn Palace. Oh. If it detects smoke, it will send an alert to the security room. I think the poison gas might have set off the alarm in the security room, sir. Was there anyone in the security room at that time? The only one working here is a curator, Miss Catherine Hall, sir. She has been in the reception booth, opposite the security room, ever since the museum opened. Did Miss Hall turn on the sprinklers? The sprinkler system can only be operated manually from the security room, sir. If it had been automatic, it would have sprayed water all over the exhibits. Since the system is manual, the situation can be examined and the exhibits moved if need be. I guess there would be more priority over the exhibits than the building. Only a museum. But it's way too cold in this room, sir. Isn't this supposed to be the Autumn Palace? It feels more like the dead of winter in here. The Autumn Palace is cold? I checked the thermostat earlier, and it was set to 27 Fahrenheit. I couldn't believe it. Why would the Autumn Palace be set to the same temperature as the Winter Palace? What is happening? That's all I know for now, sir. If I figure out anything else, I'll give you another call. You see, I'm counting on you, Detective. What on earth? What's happening? What did Gummy say? He said it feels more like winter in the Autumn Palace. I don't get it. I haven't been able to enter the room personally, but it should be possible to look inside after the police have finished investigating. I'd like to know what it's like in there myself. Isn't there anyone else who knows about the incident? Ah, there is someone. Miles' friend, right? Friend? Though he's such a nuisance, we have no choice but to listen to what he has to say for now. Larry Butts. Oh, pardon me. Wait, you mean... Oh, you're here too, Kay. You're looking cute as ever. long time no see. It's Larry, isn't it? Okay, right now my name is Laurice. I'm an artist, that's why. Ah, so that's your pen name. Laurice, the artist formerly known as Larry. Wow, you really are a good girl, Care. Nothing like edgy here. Somehow I knew that was coming. Larry, I have many things I need to ask you. What's this? Don't tell me you suspect me again. You're gonna say because I was first on the scene, I must be the culprit, aren't you? I never said anything like that. I only want you to tell me what you saw. You said you saw something that no one should ever have to see, did you not? But now I'm saying I didn't see nothing, and I didn't do nothing. Probably. Oh my, he didn't seem so confident at the end there. There are somewhat troublesome circumstances surrounding this man. The saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts, still holds true, 26 years on. One could say his tendency to attract trouble is legendary. Seems he's done something troublesome without even realizing it himself. I'll just have to try and extract the truth from him. With chess. Mm-hmm. Wait. Wait a minute. Okay, cool. My goal is to expose whatever Larry is hiding. However, I didn't see nothing, I didn't do nothing. Larry is an extremely restless and troublesome man. Until he cools down, I'll just wait and see. First, I'll ask him about his goal. This isn't something I can't handle. I'll finish this quickly. Yay! I was gonna say, it's been a while since we've done logic chess. Why did you come here? What was your purpose for coming to the art gallery? What? Are you saying that I don't belong in an art gallery? Wait and see. Hey, if you're not gonna talk, hold that pose so I can paint your portrait. And then I'll scribble all over the portrait I drew of you. He's still really angry. I was just joking. I would never scribble over my paintings. Of course. They're works of art, after all. I don't think any of your works would qualify as art. Don't look down on me. There are people who recognize my skills as an artist. Those people are blind. Mandy is my girlfriend, but it's really my paintings she fell in love with. That's why I'll sketch anything my girlfriend likes. Then why are you here on your own today? So what, can't a guy with a girlfriend spend some time alone? Jesus Christ. Mandy said she's a Gemini. I thought she'd be happy if I showed her a sketch of it on our next date. You really have that much confidence in the sketch? Well, I'm not so confident about this one. But I thought she would be happy if I did a sketch of her astrological sign. You came to see the Gemini sculpture? Ah ha ha! I see. That's just like you. To impress Mandy, you came here to see the Gemini sculpture, didn't you? Oh! What? How did you find out? Because you just unknowingly told me everything. Well then, I'm not saying another word from now on. He's finally decided to remain silent. In that case, I'll be more relentless in my questioning. I'll try to find out what he was doing here at the art gallery. Hey, got my time back. I'll expose his true motives. This shouldn't take long. What did you do at the art gallery? You? Just what did you do in this art gallery? What's with that glare? I don't really remember anything. I didn't have a pamphlet, so I just loitered around the fountain patio. You forgot to get a pamphlet? Don't they give you a pamphlet at the reception booth after you pay the admission fee? Oof. Huh? Oh, is that right? So, the admission wasn't free, huh? You didn't pay? Don't tell me. You sneaked in here without paying. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do anything bad. It's just... there was no one at the reception booth. That's why... I thought you could come in here for free. Miss Hall wasn't there? Miss Hall wasn't at the reception booth? Yeah, it didn't look like there was anyone on the other side of the desk. Come to think of it, Gumshoe did say something about that. Miss Hall was busy activating the sprinklers from the security room. Because of the incident, she had to leave the reception booth. Poor Katie. She went to all that trouble to open up the place. And now, the art gallery's star attraction, the Winter Palace, is completely ruined. You know about the Winter Palace? Oh, it went silent. You're certainly well informed about the Winter Palace for someone without a pamphlet. The Winter Palace is where your goal, the Gemini sculpture, is located. You had your sights set on the Winter Palace from the beginning, didn't you? Oh, there's 2 pieces down. What? How'd you find me out again? That's right, my goal was to see the Gemini sculpture. From the very beginning, the Winter Palace was the very reason why I came here. He confessed quite easily. You can never tell anything with this man. Next, I'll ask for further information regarding the Winter Palace. Yay, more time. May still have some fight left in him. I'll watch his reactions and extract the information I need. So, did you enter the Winter Palace? What did you see in the Winter Palace? I have no more use for you. Right, did you see the Winter Palace? Did you also enter the Winter Palace? What's with that look of distrust? Sure. I tried going in, but... you couldn't get in? You tried to go in, but you weren't actually able to, right? Oh, right. Yeah, that's about right. I wanted to go in, but... then the old geezer collapsed. I was a little freaked out. It was because of the victim? So you couldn't get in because the victim of the poison gas collapsed? Yeah, he fell right out of the Winter Palace. I'm sure the victim emerged from the Autumn Palace. If it weren't for that poison gas incident, I'd be in there sketching the Gemini sculpture right now. Larry must have mistaken the Autumn Palace for the Winter Palace. That aside, it seems his goal was to sketch the sculpture. Huh. This should be a useful clue. So what did you see in the Winter Palace? Larry, did you see anything in the Winter Palace? You're still hung up on that. Didn't I say that I didn't see anything? I started to think that it wasn't such a good idea to come to the art gallery. I needed to leave soon to meet with my girlfriend. Perhaps I should try using that clue. What about your sketch? You came here to sketch the sculpture for your girlfriend, did you not? I don't think you would give up that easily. Even after the victim collapsed, you could still see inside the room from the outside, right? Well, I may have gotten a tiny glimpse, but... there's no evidence that I saw something scary in there, right? You saw something scary? Aha! Is that everything? My. I'm disappointed it turned out to be this simple. Larry, you saw something scary at the crime scene, didn't you? Oh! Edgy, can you read my mind? In that case, there's no point in keeping any more secrets from you. Yeah, there's no point in keeping secrets anyway. I'll only figure it out. You just told me everything of your own accord. That was a complete waste of time. But, finally, it's checkmate. Yay! Nice. Love it. I had my eyes fixed on the Gemini sculpture. Whoa. You've mentioned the Gemini sculpture many times now, but... I don't believe the sculpture you saw was the Gemini one. What? Was it a mirage then? Larry mistakenly thought he saw the Winter Palace. This piece of evidence shows what Larry really saw. Yeah, Autumn Palace. Wait. Oh! Summer, spring, winter, autumn. He would have seen Aquarius? He probably started to sculpt Aquarius. Maybe. I mean, it is Larry, he's not the brightest spark. Take a look at this pamphlet. In the Autumn Palace, the Pisces, Capricorn, Aries and Aquarius sculptures are displayed. Incidentally, I can confirm that the Gemini sculpture is located in the Winter Palace. Therefore, the sculpture you saw could not have been the Gemini one. I knew it. I expected him to be a bit more shocked at the news. I thought it was kinda strange. I know I saw a single goddess. And that transformation was no mirage. Transformation, you say? Oh, you're curious too, Edgy? Well, nothing for it. Guess I'll have to show you. Show me? What exactly? I drew a picture of the very scene I saw back then. Well, I really can't believe what I drew. Picture? What picture? This one right here. What the fuck? What? What is this disturbing picture? Is that sculpture weeping tears of blood? Maurice, this picture is scary. Okay, it scared me too. This Gemini sculpture suddenly transformed into a goddess right before my eyes. I couldn't help but scream. So the victim collapsing wasn't what surprised him. What do you mean when you say transformed? I don't really understand it myself. The lower half of its body just turned into a fish. A fish goddess? That would be the Pisces sculpture, wouldn't it? In mythology, Pisces represents the fish that a goddess and her son transform into. Really? So Pisces isn't just a couple of ordinary fish? Edgy, you don't think that sculpture is cursed, do you? Those tears of blood turned the Gemini sculpture into a fish. Preposterous. You simply mistook the Pisces sculpture for the Gemini one. Pisces sketch. Larry drew a sketch of the Pisces sculpture just as he saw it. Creepy. Bum. Oh, you put the sketch in your organizer? Even a sketch like this can be used as scrap paper after all. How could you? But it's strange. Why did only the lower half of the sculpture transform? Uncle Ray's a bit curious about what went on in the Autumn Palace. Indeed. I wonder if someone tampered with the Pisces sculpture. Yes, Edgeworth here. Mr. Edgeworth, we finished searching the room. The poison gas isn't a threat anymore, so you can enter the crime scene. Right, good work, Detective. It seems we can enter the Autumn Palace now. Nice timing, Mr. Detective. Let's go right now. I want to see the Pisces sculpture. If Kay is going, I'm going too. I was planning on bringing him along anyway. Right then, let's proceed to the Autumn Palace. Woohoo! Oh man, Larry actually has kind of a similar walk cycle to Ray Shields. So, this is the Autumn Palace. It certainly does resemble the Winter Palace. I've been waiting, sir. Huh? Aren't you that Harry Butts guy? Wrong, I'm Laurie Stoneham. Never mind that, Detective. Your report, if you please. Roger that, sir. We discovered a used gas burner during our investigation. The nozzle was still warm when we found it, so it may be related to the incident. Was it used to heat something? Used gas burner jotted down in my organizer. Traces that it was used before the police arrived. Was it used to heat something? Was that ladder always there on the ground? It was probably used by the person who set off the poison gas. The poison gas was released when someone lifted the lid off that glass case, sir. The Pisces sculpture. Huh? Seems like you know about it, sir. Well then. Do you know what the sculpture next to it is? Since we're in the Autumn Palace, it would probably be the Capricorn sculpture. As expected of Mr. Edgeworth, I thought it was Taurus myself. I was thrown off, as it was covered by this weird cloth. The fluorescent cloth! I wonder what it's doing here. Evidence from the IS-7 incident. Another one? What on earth? No matter. No matter what it is or how it got here. It moves. There's two of them. The sculptures in this room are all covered with this fluorescent cloth. And because they're hidden, it makes me want to see them even more. Let's take a look. I'll just get this cloth off. Wow, they're beautiful. Oh wow. You don't think the transformation Larry saw was in fact the moment the cloth wrapped around the lower half of Pisces fell? See, Edgy? It wasn't a mirage or mistake after all. Hey, Miles. There sure is something strange about this room. It looks exactly the same as the Winter Palace we were in just a moment ago. Yeah, I agree. Perhaps the sculptures were hidden to make it look like the Winter Palace. If you wrap the cloth around the lower half of the Pisces sculpture, it looks like Gemini. Capricorn is a half fish too. Hide the lower half and it resembles Taurus. The remaining two, which couldn't be altered with trickery, were covered up. The Autumn Palace was made to look like the Winter Palace. So it seems, Mr. Shields. Looks like we'll need to conduct an investigation of the Autumn Palace too. Hold it. Ah, Christ. Mr. DeBest and Judge Courtney. Hey, you guys again. This is a problem. You see, this is my crime scene. Mr. Edgeworth? It seems my power is insufficient. If you're here, then it would appear that you still haven't understood my warnings. Furthermore, you know full well your reckless actions will cause trouble for that detective. In the name of the Goddess of Law, I must pass judgment. You got it all wrong, pal. I was the one who asked Mr. Edgeworth to investigate. Really? Well then, Flatfoot. I'll have to do that. That? Yeah, that. Right. Cut your salary. Looking forward to your next payday? I've always wanted to say that. Oh, you're the last person I want cutting my salary, pal. Hold it, DeBest. I'm only cooperating with the police as a witness to this incident. Detective Gumshoe is not to blame. So that's how it is. Well then, should I be raising his salary? No, that's not what I meant. But it would be really nice to get my salary raised. Your mercy is deeply moving, Sebastian. But past transgressions must lead to future judgments. Prosecutor Edgeworth, and all in his company, depart at once from this holy site. But that's... we only just got here. So the one given the Goddess of Law's blessing for this incident was Sebastian. In other words, Mr. DeBest is the prosecutor in charge of this case. That's right, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening performance is over. Besides, I've already got my eyes set on the culprit. What? Who, pal? Well, naturally, that artist. Me? Hey, what's going on, Edgy? Don't ask me. I can't understand his reasoning. Tisk, tisk, tisk. You can't understand how the best prosecutor thinks, it simply shows how inculpable you are. Seems he doesn't know what inculpable even means. That would make two of us. That's right, Sebastian. Prosecutor Edgeworth is quite incapable. Yes, he's incapable. She just nonchalantly corrected him. Don't underestimate my intelligence gathering skills. I just came from the infirmary and asked the doctor there about the cause of the poison gas. And what was the cause? Some normal substance. What was its name again? Hold on a second. I'll call the doctor to make sure. Did they mix two chemicals together? Oh, since Sebastian is on the phone, I'll answer for him. In that case, why didn't you tell us before he called? The poison gas was caused by the mixing of two different types of chemicals. Their names are normalium and fatalium. So, what are those chemicals exactly? Normalium is a red liquid that's commonly used in everyday products. It can be found in paint and detergent, among other things, but it's not toxic by itself. So you're saying that it's a substance readily available to anyone? Yes, but fatalium, on the other hand, is not so easy to obtain. Its name sure sounds dangerous. What's it used for? It is the active ingredient of a white pesticide known as Megatonic X. So fatalium itself also has a deep white colour, but it's not readily sold in stores. It's nearly impossible to obtain domestically. Right now we are looking into how this chemical was obtained. So the white fatalium mixed with the red normalium caused a chemical reaction. Okay, I finally found out the names of those chemicals. Judge Courtney has already told us. We don't need to hear it again. Fine then. I'll cut to the chase. You know that normalium from the poison gas is also used in paint, right? Today, out of everyone who visited the art gallery, the only one carrying paint was that artist. You're treating me as a culprit just because of that? I object to the red paint on the palette you're carrying. Hey, Edgy. Don't you think this prosecutor is kind of an idiot? Indeed, although I've only known him for a short time. His logic is always absurd. Hey, don't ignore me. It's alright, Sebastian. They're only doing it because they're afraid of you. Oh my god. Like the first star to appear at night. Show us reasoning that shines the best. The first star shines best. Not bad. Hey, you guys better listen up too. Oh, right, okay. This is the best shining logic. Yeah, of course. The artist was the first to discover the victim, so naturally he's the best suspect. The poison gas was caused by normalium, a chemical found in paint, right? As he was carrying paint near the victim, he would have had the best chance. The paint, along with being the first witness, that pretty much proves he's the culprit. Wait, what? So, what do you think, Justine? I cannot ignore the possibility. She's literally nothing but an enabler. She enables him to be shit. And encourages him to continually be shit. It's not good. Well then, Mr. Artist, please, tell us the truth. Did you leave red paint at the crime scene? Or else? Did you cause the poison gas to go off? The only thing I leave behind is my bond of love with you. Oh my god. Please watch what you say. My gavel is already prepared to declare you guilty. Please pay no heed to this man's statements. Hey, you guys. Ignoring my reasoning just because it's flawless won't do you any good. Mr. Edgeworth, if you've already admitted defeat, you should take your leave. Even though I don't really have time to deal with your ridiculous reasoning. Let's do it. I'm just going to press the first statement because I present on the second. Because he only mentions one chemical, he does not mention, God, what was the other? Fatalium. He only mentions normalium. Indeed, at first glance this man seems suspicious, however... At first glance? What's with that first all of a sudden? Are you trying to steal my spot as the star that shines best? Huh? Would that make me the best artist? Barry, Don't make this any more confusing than it already is. Mr. De Best, continue your reasoning, now. Oh god. Mr. De Best, your logic is more akin to a shooting star than a shining star. It shines the best like a shooting star, right? It may shine brightly for a brief moment, but then it burns itself out. The poison gas originated from inside the glass... not inside the glass case of the Pisces sculpture. Exactly. So that's where the artist set off the gas, right? He used the normalium in his red paint. As your senior, let me give you one piece of advice. Listen to the explanations of others. The poison gas was caused by mixing both normalium and fatalium together. The normalium contained in the red paint is not enough by itself. Really? I thought I heard that normalium caused a fatality. Oh my god, don't tell me you just misheard the forensics report. Darn it! By the time Larry discovered the victim, the room was already filled with poison gas. It's time for you to realize how incapable you really are. Hey, what do you mean by incapable? You tried to use that word earlier, and you still don't know what it means. He means to say you are lacking in ability. Incidentally, inculpable has a completely different meaning. I get it. You're making fun of me again, aren't you? I'm merely saying you were incapable in your investigation. Of course. Before you insult Sebastian, I still have some doubts about your own statement. What kind of doubts? For all we know, Mr. Artist could have simply entered the Autumn Palace at an earlier time. That's absurd. Moreover, do you have evidence that the red paint is unrelated to the case? The most important thing now is not the red paint. The red normalium and the white fatalium. Exactly how were these two substances mixed? I believe that is our main concern. Naturally. It was Sebastian's job to investigate that, but he failed. Were it not for your interference, we would have found that out by now. I never intended to interfere. On the contrary, I'd like to cooperate. Don't tell me you're going to say you know the cause of the poison gas. How the poison gas started, I have something that may shed some light on this matter. Sebastian, do not fall for his bluff. Come now, it's fine really. Let's hear what he's come up with. If you say so, Sebastian. Come on, show us. How did the poison gas start? Oh. Surely you're not saying that this was the cause of the poison gas. It seems even you've noticed it. Duh, it really stands out. Those red tears that Larry saw were undoubtedly normalium. Wait a second. If those were chemicals, does that mean a ghost set off the poison gas? I don't have time to play along with him. The red tears of normalium could not have triggered the poison gas by itself. That red liquid was mixed inside the case to create the poison gas. What? Just where do you see evidence that the chemicals were mixed? That can also be seen in this sketch. Here's the evidence. Two chemicals were mixed. Yeah, the pink stain on the floor. Ooh! A pink liquid can be seen flowing out from under the case of the Pisces sculpture. This is proof that the two chemicals were mixed. Hold on a second, I still don't get it. How does this show that normalium and fatalium were mixed? Since we have a self-proclaimed artist here, I'll let him explain. Larry, you fancy yourself an artist, so you should know about mixing paint, right? What do you add to red to make pink? Don't take me for a fool, Edgy. I'll have you know I graduated from middle school. You add white to red to make pink. It's common knowledge. Well, technically, there's rose pink, a baby pink, and several others. That's enough. Now do you understand, Mr. De Best? Ah, that's how it is. By mixing red normalium with white fatalium, You get a pink liquid. Yes, exactly. Took him long enough. I see. Looks like Mr. DeBest finally gets it. Or not. Prosecutor Edgeworth, you have merely presented one possibility. Do we really know if the colour was the result of the two chemicals mixed together? Furthermore, this sketch was drawn by the suspect. I cannot put much faith into it. I just painted what I saw. How could that be a lie? Mr. Artist, I did not permit you to speak. Ugh, so cold. But that's part of a charm. Of course, I intend to bring the truth to light immediately. It would not be wise to jeopardize your position even further. Aren't you going to answer my question from before? How do you know that Mr. Artist did not enter the Autumn Palace? If you cannot prove this, there is no room for you to argue any further. Hey, couldn't we find that out if we talk to the victim, pal? The victim, Dane Gustavia, remains unconscious and in critical condition. That's right. Well then, Sebastian. Oh, Sebastian will be investigating the crime scene now. All of you, please vacate the premises. Is it rare? If you were to take a stand in court, you'd cause a lot of trouble for the presiding judge. Is there something you would like to say, Mr. Artist? Hold your horses, Miss Cool Beauty. My name is Justine Courtney. Please don't address me by such a strange title. Oh, you finally told me your name. Pleased to meet you, Justine. I'm Laurice Donham, but you can call me Laurice. Mr. Artist, please get to the point. I just remembered something I haven't had the chance to say yet. When I first got to this room, it was locked, so I couldn't go in. But then that old dude just suddenly fell through the door. It would appear that the palace rooms can be locked from the inside. But just because you say it was so, doesn't mean the door was locked. Without proof, your statement holds no value.
Objection.
Hey, Ray! Well, why not let Uncle Ray prove it for you? What? After all, we can confirm the room was locked too. Right, Miles? Yes, I remember as well. Yeah, when we first tried to go in. The Winter Palace should be... Huh? It's locked up. That's odd. They've already opened the museum. Until the gas outbreak, no one could have entered this room. Perhaps the suspect entered the room with the victim during the gas outbreak. As you can see, this man did not inhale any of the gas. If you examine his belongings, you'll find he wasn't carrying a gas mask either. Is that so? Well then, I have no choice but to agree. That was easier than I expected. Anyway, I presume this clears up any suspicion surrounding Larry. It seems Mr. DeBest's logic was off once again. Well, not exactly, I just didn't have enough information, that's all. Therefore, my reasoning was just before its time. He sure has a grand way of saying that things didn't work out for him. In that case, there is one more suspect who has yet to take the stand. Mr. Artist, you are free to go. Huh. But I wanted to talk to you a little more, Justy. Overruled. Your cold demeanour leaves me mesmerised all the more. This other suspect is a pharmacist by the name of Delicia Scones. It would have been difficult for this artist to obtain the Fatalium from Megatoxin X. But a pharmacist may have knowledge of how to do just that. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. Sebastian, it would be best if we brought her in quickly. Best if we brought her quickly? Sounds good, leave it to me. Hey, Flatfoot, keep up the investigation. Got it. Don't tell me. Judge Courtney suspected her from the very beginning. So Mr. DeBest's logic wasn't any help at all. Judge Courtney, just what is she thinking? Oh. Oh, really? To be continued. Son of a bitch. Well, I got through 2 parts. Yeah, I got through beginning 2 and middle part 1, so not too bad. There's 3 more parts of the middle? Shit. I think I might just try and get through 2 parts per session. Yeah, I just think it'd work out better. Honestly, it really depends on how long they take. Like the first, like the beginning part 2 only took like 50 minutes. This took an hour, which seems to be like very common. Oh yeah, whoops. There we go. Either way, that is going to be the end of this session. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and until next time, take care.